You are tuned in to Stewart Spotlight Podcast live with your host, William Stewart Jr. with topics of everyday life. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Today's guest, Alan Fuller. The topic, past and future relationships. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode. Now your host, William Stewart Jr. Good evening and welcome to Stewart Spotlight Podcast Live. My name is William Stewart Jr. and I am your host this evening. I'm hoping everyone had a wonderful week and winding down for the weekend. Today is December the 12th. Whew, this year is about to fly by real fast, and then Christmas is knocking at the door, and New Year's about to turn another page. How time flies by so fast. However, I need your support. I need your support by doing this. I need your support. I need you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and make sure you turn on your notifications. So therefore, every time you hear this, you know that Stewart Spotlight Podcast is live. Yes, that's right. Make sure you turn on your devices, and every time you hear the notification bell, therefore that you can tune into Stewart Spotlight Podcast on your cell phone, laptop, computers, and we'll be live. How about being my guest? Give us a call at 888-552-1944 and be my special guest on Stewart Spotlight Podcast. If you recall, last week we gave a book away from Bishop Dr. C.L. Carter Sr. From First Missionary Baptist Church. He had a book signing and he autographed a book, and I made an announcement last week for the fifth caller to call in to get a book, and we have a winner. We have a winner. Her name is Mary Ann Braxton from Jackson, Mississippi. I'm about to say Jackson, Mississippi. Congratulations. And we will be sending you the book in the mail to you. Compliments of the Bishop Carter. This week's message comes from my friend Bud. He always sends me so many messages during the week, and I'm always picking and choosing which one that would be appropriate for this particular week. And for this week, it says, one of your greatest tests is when you are able to bless someone else while you are going through your own storms. Wow. That's kind of deep there. You're blessing someone else while you're going through your own storms. Okay. Well, my guest today is a dear friend of mine who I've known for a couple of years, and I want to call him Bishop Doctor, but I'm going to call him Alan Fuller. He's going to be on today, and he's going to be talking about past and future relationships. And I think he has a story to tell and a little sentimental feelings about someone, but we're going to let him talk about it when he comes on. But we're going to take a small break, and when we come back, I'm going to have my special guest on. Stay tuned. You are tuned in to Stewart Spotlight Podcast live with your host, William Stewart Jr. with topics of everyday life. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Today's guest, Alan Fuller. The topic, past and future relationships. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode. Now your host, William Stewart Jr.
Yes, I'm back. William Stewart Jr., Stewart Spotlight Podcast. As I stated before, I'm going to bring my guest on who's been waiting in the wind. And I'm so honored to have him on to talk about some past and future relationships. Without further ado, let's bring on Alan Fuller. Welcome to the show, Alan. How are you? I couldn't hardly hear you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay. So how you been doing today?
Doing fairly good. It's Friday, the end of the week. Pretty good day.
How was your week?
It was a little stressful trying to make it through the week, but it was, it was good. I made it through the week. I'm glad it's Friday, and the weekend's upon us. It's coming.
Well, that's a good thing. So give you some time to relax and settle down, and maybe have a drink and just watch some games over the weekend, and just relaxation. How about that?
I'll try to do that.
I know you will. So, Alan, let's talk about your topic, past and future relationship. And I believe you have a daughter. How old is your daughter?
Yeah, she's 17.
17 years of age. And what happened between your daughter's mother and yourself?
We had some distancing, miscommunication, and therefore it caused a separation.
And how long were you guys together?
It was a short time. I probably knew her for about a year and a half, and we were probably together maybe like 4 or 5 months.
Oh, that was a very short relationship.
I think so. Yeah, it was pretty short. It wasn't a year. It wasn't quite a year.
Okay, so did you learn anything from that past relationship to now?
Yes, I did. The key to all relationships when you're having doubts or questions about where you're going and what you're doing is to ask questions, no matter how simple or how, whether they're important or very simple. You need to ask those questions, and you need to have things laid out. If things aren't clear in conversation and maybe the understanding's not clear, then it can, you can have problems. So communication is, in a relationship, in any relationship, is number one.
That's true. So now you mentioned communication. So were you shortfall on the communication, or was she?
With us both losing our job at the same time, and then going to a doctor's appointment to to check on our daughter before she was born, it was definitely communication. Communication was everything. So if I was out of town and trying to communicate, it was kind of rough. So once again, it's just a communication thing. And maybe I have that today, right? Anxiety, maybe some anxiety or excitement, and then that can cause you to have feelings where you're probably not very pronounced. And more likely, that's the case. If you're excited, you're happy, you're in love, you have excitement, and then all of a sudden, something unexpected happens, and it may throw you a little curveball. I lost my direction, not really direction, but lost my focus, not intentionally, but with excitement and all that. That can definitely cause the situation in the communication path to divert itself, not intentionally. Okay. So therefore, if things weren't clear, then it leaves the loved one or someone that you love wondering, all right, what's going on? What's happening? Why did this happen? And so I'm at fault because I'm not the best communicator. And it's sometimes after the fact that it's not that I want to correct it. I continue to try to connect with communication at that moment and until it's, until it's conveyed. So yeah, I probably have a problem with communicating, especially when I'm excited or emotional. Not so much emotional, but with excitement and joy. I just need to stay focused with that because it doesn't just slip my mind out of nowhere. But in moments that are pretty tenseful, I guess we're all human, and I'm not using it as an excuse. But at certain moments, sometimes I get some issues.
So now, do you still
to
stay in
express-
contact with her?
With my daughter,
No,
or
the
the
daughter,
ex?
your daughter ex, yes,
Uh,
your daughter mother.
the daughter, yeah, Christy. No, she didn't want to see me or have anything to do with me back in the day, back in like 2007, 2008. She just told me to just, matter of fact, she didn't tell me anything. And there was a lack of communication there too.
Mm.
And so it was very limited. I mean, I'm sure it was precise conversation, but it was small and precise. And yeah, she said some things that were just hurtful. And it just really it didn't push me back, but it just made me afraid that she may do other things to make it even harder for me. And what she did, eventually she did. But it came down to communication. I wanted to be a part of our daughter's life.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be there when she was born. And then when I sent things, it was too much. I'd send gifts, they'd be sent back and then return to sender. And it crushed me. It broke my heart. And I wore that on my heart for years. And now she's 17. I still have those gifts that I gave her and cards and stuff that I was sending, money, and it all got sent back.
Really?
Yeah. So I still have those items today here in 2025. 2007, 2008 is when I I wanted to help and to show support towards my daughter. And every time I did, doors were shut. Things happen for mysterious ways, or they happen because of me. And it led me to not be a part of my daughter's life, no matter how hard I tried and how much money I spent.
Well, I'm just really shocked that your daughter hasn't reached out to you.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. I don't know how she could or would. I mean, I guess maybe through Facebook, but I hadn't seen anything, and I haven't seen her on Facebook either. So I think they've got me blocked, or maybe she doesn't know about her dad. But
Okay.
yeah, no communication. I'd be overwhelmed with happiness and joy. Just to hear phone call, a message. I would be blown away. I'd be excited.
Okay.
It would be amazing. I'm on my best day. It'd be one of my best days.
So now, what about the relationships after your daughter's mother?
So after Christy and I, we separated. She separated, and relationships after that, I had good ones. I had a few long ones. I had one relationship with a girl where she had a daughter the same age as my daughter, and we dated for about 4 years until she decided she was going to move to North Carolina.
Okay.
And it was a nice relationship. I got to watch her daughter grow, and to be a part of her life when she was young.
Okay.
And so yeah, it brought some value. It brought some clarity. All right, man, I'd really like to see my daughter, but at the time I had a PTO against me. So it made it kind of hard for me to kind of go forward with that. So I kind of focused on our relationship that we had.
Okay.
And then, so it lasted a couple of years, and then she ended up moving to North Carolina.
Okay. Now, because I noticed that when we spoke, your heart is heavy with Miss Elena.
Yeah, Elena Delgado. Yep.
Yes. And you guys been dating for a while, and
yep, about 3 years. Yeah, she said 3 years, and I think that's about right. She moved in the neighborhood about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Really, when I met her, I was just she just kind of captured me in conversation. It was just it was like it's kind of weird. People say a light came on or something like that, right?
A light?
And yeah, a ding, like a, oh, wow.
Okay.
She just brought in you know what she did? She brought a breath of fresh air into my life and into my heart.
Okay.
She was captivating.
Okay.
Yeah. So we dated, and she lived in my neighborhood, and until recently, now she's taking a job in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. And when is she moving?
She's not speaking to me currently right now. And I think it's going to be probably in the next week or so.
Oh, let's back it up. You say she's not talking to you now?
She's not communicating. She just tells me that she's busy, and we hadn't had much communication. She's just busy.
Now, because originally both you guys were supposed to have been on the podcast.
Yeah.
And what happened from there?
So I don't think she said she was too busy to get on there, but
Okay.
yeah.
But your heart was set for her to come on so you can really vent to her to show her your expression.
But just to tell her really how much really how much she means to me.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just it would have been nice if she could have come on.
So now you guys been dating for 3 years, and it's
Yeah.
ending like this on a bad note.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a bad note, Stuart. I mean, it depends on how you look at it, right? I mean, her angle or mine. On mine, I feel it's a bad thing, but I had mentioned to her that if there was a chance, I mean, I would like to be a part of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And the company I work for, they have offices in Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
and I met a guy last week that came into work. He came down from Philadelphia to check out the Atlanta office here at BlackRock, and I had talked to him and stuff, and he was the facility engineer, and just talking a little bit about the building and the location up there in Philly.
Okay.
I thought it was kind of neat. It was very ironic that he came here, and I knew he was coming from Philadelphia, and I was like, wow, this is something. Maybe I'll just ask him a few questions that, do they have an opening, and how big's your office? And just dig in a little bit about that location. And if something were to mend, I would definitely look at that as a number one option.
But if Ellen, if she's not talking to you because she's saying she's
Yeah.
busy, what's the purpose of moving up
Yeah, what's
there?
the purpose of moving up?
Yes.
I would, the communication line would have to be open first, and we'd have to be on the same communication path. And then I would. I mean, look, I'd dive right in like, oh, I'm going to go move with you. Yeah, that's not normally that's not my MO, and that's not how I roll.
So
and I've never,
let's go back, not to cut you off. Now you said you guys been dating for 3 years. 3 years.
Yep.
And what have you guys really accomplished as far as
a couple.
as a couple? Yes.
So that's we spent a lot of time at her house. We cook together. She cooks out meals. We've been to a lot of concerts together.
Okay.
I had tickets, and she would, and we'd go out to dinner a lot. So I don't know if that's really an accomplishment, but we got to know each other as she works from home, and then sometimes she works out of state. She goes up to like Philadelphia, New York, and other areas where she has clients or customers to fill their needs with real estate or home build outs. And so that's pretty much kind of what we had in common, what she had in common. But yeah, that was her line of work. She was always going out of town and stuff. And when she was home for a couple of weeks or a month.
So explain this to me then. What have you guys traveled together, or have you
No, we haven't. I was going to actually take her down to Florida. I'm sorry, I got the question off canter a little bit. I had asked her one time to go down to Florida with me, and she was kind of tempted to go, but did other things, and she didn't go. So that's one thing we have not done. We have not traveled. I have not traveled with her on any of her work assignments or anything like that. There was a time she was taking an RV from Georgia up to like, I think it was like Maryland or something like that for a client. And I think I may have hinted, hey, do you need somebody to go up there with you? she's like, no, I'm going to be driving up there with my dog in this RV. But yeah, I've never been asked to go out of town with her, which,
But isn't that a red flag right there? If she have never
yeah,
asked for you to go
yeah,
somewhere with her, and
yeah, you're absolutely correct. And
shouldn't have been some kind of dialogue? Okay, let's sit down and talk about this and what's going on. Why haven't I been able to go on trips with you? Why don't you want to go on trips with me? Some kind of
yeah,
discussion there.
yeah, that was very interesting. Maybe I just was kind of blindsided by it all and just didn't take it for granted. But she would like pack all these fancy clothes and like dresses and get all dressed up. She said she was going to these galas or balls or whatever, or events with people. And so I never really kind of put the correlation together. I mean, I knew she was going places, but I didn't know with who or why or what.
But now it's
And so
now it's going back.
that's the,
It's going back to your first relationship of communication.
yeah. So yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I took it for granted that she was going on business and that she was going up there because she said she had clients that she was meeting, but she would pack all these clothes in this huge suitcase
Uh-huh.
and she would be gone for like a month or not a month. I'm sorry, like a week.
Uh-huh.
And she'd also work dog with her. And yeah, it was kind of at first I didn't think it was sketchy. And then after a while, I'm thinking, man, what does she really do? She's got high heel shoes, these long gowns and stuff, or really nice
Mhm.
dresses, and she puts her makeup on really nice. She looks much younger than what she looks. And yeah, so I never really dug deep into that. I never really,
Do you think you were a little naive?
maybe so, quite
And
possibly.
what and and why did you think you were naive, that you didn't think that she would do something like that to you?
Well, it wasn't really to me because we weren't like a couple, right? So we were neighbors and we'd hang out together and do things, but we weren't a couple. But yeah, that should have been something that I should have picked up
Hmm.
really,
Right.
much earlier. I
Much,
mean,
much earlier.
much earlier because I would have
Hmm.
been like, what's going on?
Hmm.
But
Because I think you told me that she used to go to concerts by herself.
yeah, she did. And then her and I would go to a few. Yeah, she would go. She would opt to go sometimes by herself. And but after a while, she went to a few of them, I guess, right before I actually like started hanging out with her a lot.
Okay.
And then when we were hanging out, I was going to her house, hanging out, whatnot. We would we look at concerts and things. She'd want to go see some shows and different things. And I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. So there were times that she bought, and then there was a lot of times I would buy. We'd go on to I think it was like AmVets or something like that. There was a military veteran ticket
Okay.
event sponsor that you can get tickets through, and we would go there because they would be cheaper. We've gone to comedy clubs, we've gone to solo performances at venues, and we go to some big concerts. We went to a lot of concerts, Tim McGraw, um, Pitbull, and yeah, it was pretty cool. I went to a lot of concerts. I probably went in one year. We probably went to about 6 or 7 concerts.
Okay.
So sometimes she would pay, and
Hmm.
then she'd have problems with money. I guess after a while, she'd have problems,
But Alan,
paying bills and stuff.
you told me
Yeah,
something that you used to go over your ex and have dinner
yeah,
while you was
that's
talking to
right. So
her, and you were communicating to her what you was doing. What's wrong with that whole picture there?
yeah, that's pretty wrong too.
Wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't really the ex. Yeah, yeah. That I mean, and I told Elena too, and that was wrong. So that's my fault. Um, and even with intentions or no intentions, that's completely wrong. And how is that wrong? It affects you directly, indirectly, and then you lose, and I had no intentions, but you end up breaking people's trust.
So
Then
how did she feel about that? Did you communicate to her? How did you feel
who's
about me
she?
going, Elena, that you was going over to someone else's house?
Elena. Never. Um, Once again, communication. I probably did not. Or maybe I mentioned, hey, I'm going to go over to Nancy's house and I'll be back. That is like, that will ruin any and every relationship.
You would
And
think.
Yeah. And I didn't do it deliberately by any means.
Okay.
And you can never assume that that's going to be all right with somebody if you don't communicate, right? Even if you communicate to somebody and you tell them, hey, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over to my ex-girlfriend's house, or I'm going to go over with my ex-girlfriend's husband to go to a race. And then that shouldn't bother you. And that's never my persona, but I created an action, and therefore I did that. And once again, not thinking of someone who I'm starting to care for and their feelings, because they didn't really convey that. Like, they could have said, why the hell are you going over there if you and I are together? And once again, it's based on me, where I should have said, hey, man, if you really care about Elena, you should stay here. And there was times I did. And one day I went back over there to maybe pick up my stuff, to clean out whatever clothes I had over there, which wasn't much. I only had like just a shirt and a pair of pants that had been over there for a long time. And I had cleared out all my stuff out of there. But going over there because her daughter graduated. One time her daughter graduated nursing school. And Nancy was asking me, hey, Kristen's graduating, and she would like to have you come with her dad and her dad's new wife, and all of us go to dinner. And I felt obligated to do that because I have that, I watched your daughter grow into a young woman and to graduate nursing school and also to get a job. So I thought that would appropriate. I believe, I'm pretty sure I told Elena that I was going there as well. And which is like, what if she did that to me? What if Elena said, hey, I'm going back to my ex's house and I'm going to go, wash his car or take him some groceries. He doesn't live here. How would Alan feel? The same damn way. I would feel I would feel like, wow, maybe
that right there, right there. You're setting up a wall for insecurity right there.
Insecurity for myself.
Both parties, because she don't know what you're doing over there, and you doing what you want to do, and it's not fair for her. But yet you're being very transparent, telling her what you're doing, and
it's still not good. So So I have learned now and then and in the past and years ago that it's all about communication in a relationship, because you come home from work, you're hungry, you tell your wife you love her. She knows you're going to be hungry. She'll have dinner. You go out to dinner. It's all about communicating. Laundry's flowing over. Somebody's got to take care of it. The grass needs to be mowed. Car needs to be washed. Oil needs to be changed in the car. Your wife's complaining about something at work. So it's all about, what it comes down to, what we're doing right here today is communicating. And this is what I should have done more of. And by God, I have no idea why. And it's not because I didn't want to. Maybe I was just reluctant in my thinking somehow. But the one that you want to have a relationship is the one that you should cherish and love, and talk to them everything. Hey, honey, we need toilet paper. Can you pick it up? We need this. Or, hey, I'm going to a meeting out of town. It's going to be myself. We're going to be back on Saturday. This is who I'm going to be with. This is my hotel room.
Right.
And to inform them, because same thing here. I mean, my job is a little different. I report to certain people, and they have to be informed of things that I do, like everything. And I should do the same, even more so in my personal life, to fill those voids and to let people know, because they want to know that you're all right, that you still care for them, that they are important to you and you're important to them. And that's what a relationship's about. it's about caring, and it's about communication,
Right.
and it's about working things out. So even if things go awry, you should always, if an argument stirs or something's like broken, especially an argument, that you have, whether it's bills or whether it's
Right.
another relationship stuff, family, it's key to sit down, whether you like the conversation or not, or whether you can gel with it, that you need to learn about the other person that you care about and to respect them.
So, Alan, hang in there with me right quick. We're going to take a little small break, and I want you to think about this.
Sure.
What does a commitment in a relationship means to you? Now, hold that thought, and we're going to talk about it on the other side. We'll be right back.
All right. Thank you.
And we are back with Alan Fuller. Before we left, Alan, I gave you a question to think about. And what does a commitment in a relationship means to you?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm glad you're asking that. Commitment to me, commitment.
Okay, you phrase
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Commitment. He was calling my phone.
Okay.
What does commitment mean to me?
Mhm.
Commitment means to me that whether it's someone you love or like a coworker, mainly it's your family. It comes down to, but it comes to all people, right? But especially the ones you love. So if your commitment to someone, you definitely you need to give them your all.
Mhm.
You got to give them your all, and if you don't give them your all, then that communication or that commitment is it's scattered, right? So commitment to me is making phone calls, telling them how much you love them, to show them that you're committed. If they have a task or a chore, or they need some help, or they need some money.
But doesn't that but doesn't that work on both parts? It's just not one. It's not on one side. It's working on both sides. Correct.
That's so yeah. So exactly. So yeah, commitment goes. That's exactly. It's not a one-way street.
Right.
It's a two-way street.
Right.
And so you're committed to that path.
Right.
You're committed to feelings, emotions. You got commitment is a huge word, and when you commit to someone, yeah, you need to stand by that, because it's not just a word. It's got depth.
Mhm.
So it runs very deep. Right?
Do you feel as though that you had that commitment from her in the relationship of the 3 years, or was it that you were just giving 110% and she was just giving whatever?
With her workload and stuff, and coming over when I did, and staying there, between work and then, yeah, did I give her 110? I mean, I did a lot of things for her, so I don't know if it's 110%, but I gave her a good percentage.
But what did
and maybe
she,
not all that she.
what did she give you?
So that's a good question. Yeah, so that's a great question too. What did she give me?
Right.
She gave me. See, like, if you have to sit here and think about it, maybe she didn't give me enough, right? So a lot of her attention or commitment was to like her, maybe her clients, into customers and people out of state.
But
And
that's not building a relationship. That's building a work environment. Uh,
so
Relationship
yeah,
is between both of you guys. Whether she's
exactly.
having problems on the job or just coming home to talk about it, and building that relationship as two.
Yeah, so it was interesting. We had dinner together several times. We've gone out to dinner, we've gone to concerts, but I mean, is
Mhm.
that really a commitment? Uh, Look at it, maybe not, right? Maybe just for the moment to go out to be with each other,
It
and then
sound like a dating to me.
it kind of does sound like dating, doesn't it? It wasn't really a true commitment,
Right.
maybe on her behalf, even though we had a really good time together out and about. But yeah, it really clarifies things. And
So now, how do you really? Now I know you're having some deep thoughts about her, and I know you said that she was going to be relocating on the 22nd or 23rd of this month. But have she offered, given an extension, not an extension, invitation for you to come out there to visit?
no, it's kind of interesting. I kind of hinted that, hey, we have an office there in Philadelphia, but never. I didn't get a smidget of a response.
But did you
And
ask? Did you ask why not?
no, because if I didn't get a response, I was just like, all right. So I was just left it at that. Communication lack, right there.
There we go back to that big word, communication.
Communication. I could have probably, she could have. So a lot of things she would just like stop. She wouldn't even like say anything, right? So it led me to believe that, oh wow, okay, maybe there's probably not a connection here, right?
But this is 3 years, Alan. This is 3 long
Yeah.
years
So
that you really felt for her, and it had to be something, because I don't think she'd have been around for 3 years just to be wasting time. But it's
yep, you're
something
absolutely.
there. It's something there, but it don't seem as though that
She's accepting it,
right.
or
She's not
uh,
putting forth
she's
to it.
not going to accept that, and therefore she's pretty much pretty much done, right? But yeah, so I didn't feel the same either. It was kind of weird. It was kind of she seemed to be a little distant at times.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe a lot of times, right? Because she'd probably been hurt before, broken because of the same kind of scenario, I would imagine, or something similar.
Okay.
Communication, right? And may have been hard for me, but may have been hard for me to kind of read or to judge her. I guess I should have been more blunt with my questions or just straightforward. I mean, pretty much, I guess I was, but maybe I didn't ask the right question at the right time, right? That could have been.
So maybe you were just a little naive and trying to not accept what she's offering.
Probably so. Probably so.
Have you
Probably
guys
right.
ever thought about going to counseling?
No, I mean, no, I don't think that never even came up. That would never even arise. But 3 years. I mean, when I look at that and she tells me it was like 3 years, and I'm just like, it didn't seem like 3 years ago that
Hmm.
she came in the neighborhood. And I don't think I met her when she first moved in. It
Mm.
was probably a few later, but I guess it was about 3 years then.
Hmm.
And it was just weird. She would be out of town a lot, and she'd be gone for weeks, and then she'd come back into town. And this is before we got kind of, well, I don't know, but it's not serious, but we started seeing each other a little bit.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Three,
It,
3 years is it's a long time. But so
yeah.
I know she's relocating. I know your
Yes.
heart is with her. I can hear it in your voice. So what are you going to do about it?
So like I said earlier, I looked at maybe like,
I'm not talking
I
about.
need to communicate.
I'm talking about relocating. What are you going to do about it now? If she decides to leave and don't communicate to you from that point on, what you going to do then?
I'm going to actually work on myself. I'm going to work on who I am. I'm going to build me better, or to build character, trust, faith, and communication. And if somebody has, if they're emotional, they have some issues from the past, and they're sensitive, I need to be aware of that, or just to make myself aware that their sensitivity and how they perceive or take things, because that can tip the boat or rock the boat, and it may not be in your favor. So once again, communicating and learning who the person is, understanding who they are, and what may have happened to them in the past, right?
Uh-huh.
And who may have influenced her in the past, and why they did that.
Yeah, the only reason I was asking you this question was because it seems as though it's a pattern. Because your first relationship was communication, and it seems
Yep.
as though your second relationship is communication. You don't want to go into a third relationship and it's still the same thing, communication.
Yeah,
So that's one of
that's
the
correct.
reasons.
I'm in low back.
Low battery. Oh, okay. Well, we only got a few more questions, so I'm hoping that it would last for a few more minutes. Um,
Sure.
so, have you? Okay, I'm gonna give you a moment to speak to her because this is going to be aired.
Okay.
This is going to be aired and it's going to be out there. What would you like to say to her if you had the opportunity to speak? Because you said that she's been busy, and I think it seems as though she's been really avoiding you for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to her right now?
I would first like to start off to say that I'm completely sorry for my actions and lack of the communication because of fear. And it's hard for you to trust me. But when, I've completed things that I had to do and cut ties with my ex. And if I could make this work, it would mean the world to me and you as well. We could definitely grow together through this experience and moving forward. I've never met anybody that's uplifted me as much as you. Kind, loving, you know, I would do anything to help you. But I really miss you, and hopefully that one day we can talk. We can make this and maybe get together and just make it work full time, like we were hoping that it would have been. Um, I'm sorry, and I love you, Elena. I'm sorry, but let's talk.
That's very good, Alan. I'm hoping that she would hear it. And maybe before she leave, maybe you guys can come on the show and talk about it, or maybe you guys will talk about it, and maybe come on the show and say, "Well, we made up, and I'm going to be relocating to another state."
Yeah.
Hey, it's nothing wrong with praying about it.
No. Prayers, everything.
That's-
God will guide you through those prayers and guide.
So, okay, Alan, I really appreciate you coming on and venting some of your frustration and sharing some of your past and future relationships. And I wish you the very best. And I'm hoping that, as I stated before, she will hear it and come on and talk about it. Or maybe you guys could talk about it and you come on and say, "Well, we made up." That'd be even better.
That would be something. It'd be a miracle. It
Yes.
would be pray for. So it would be truly amazing.
Miracles do happen.
That they do.
And with that being said, Alan Fuller, thank you for coming on and keep me posted. Keep me posted of the relationship, and maybe, like I said, maybe it'll work out. And I want you to come back on and share some of that knowledge which you have you learned in the past.
Yep.
All right. Well, you have a nice weekend, and we will talk soon.
All right. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you. That was Alan Fuller in past and future relationship, just to go through some of the things that he may went through and he's trying to work out. It seems as though he's really, really, really interested in this young lady, and I'm hoping that it will work out. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what the future may hold? But anyway, as we depart, I'm always leaving this fantastic quote that I'm going to always have on this show every day. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. So you have to change some things to get better. Okay, on that note, I wish everybody have a wonderful weekend and also be safe. In the meantime, be careful, be safe, and be kind to one another. Until next week, everybody have a nice and blissful weekend. Good night.